we're going to be talking about subtracting with algebra tiles. For our intro picture, this is a close-up view of the Atlantis Space Shuttle from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. So our first problem, we've got 2x squared plus 4x minus 3, and I'm subtracting the polynomial x squared plus 1x minus 2. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this first polynomial and build it with my algebra tiles. So I've got 2x squareds, 4x's, and then minus 3. Early on in elementary school, you learned that subtracting meant to take away. And that's exactly what we're going to do with these polynomials. So I'm going to be taking away all of this second polynomial. So I'm going to start by taking away x squared. So right now I have 2x squared. So I'm going to take away x squared and move that off to the side. Now I'm going to take away an x and move that off to the side. Then I'm going to take away two of these negatives and move them off to the side. So that's going to leave me with this polynomial right here. And we would write that, let's see, there's 1x squared, or just x squared. Got 1, 2, 3 x's, so plus 3x. And then minus 1. So that's all we have to do for that first one. Always start these out by building your first polynomial and taking away all of the second polynomial. Here's one for you to try on your own. Pause your video and give this one a shot. Feel free to use your algebra tiles to build this. Feel free to draw pictures to build it. Or if you think you can do it without algebra tiles, try that as well. Pause your video until you come up with a solution and see if it matches mine. Did you get 2x squared plus 2x minus 4? If you did, give yourself a curly-haired smiley face. If you didn't, give yourself an X and go back and see if you can figure out where you made your mistake. Let's try this one. This one we've got x squared minus x minus 3. So again, I'm starting out by building my original polynomial, my original trinomial, since there's 3 pieces in this case. Now I need to take away my second polynomial. Well, the first thing it says is take away 3x squareds. I don't have enough x squareds for that. So I have to figure out a way to add something to this that's 0 that's going to allow me to take away more x squareds. We figured out the other day that if I have the same shape but opposite colors, it counts as 0. So if I put an x squared and a negative x squared, that counts as 0. So if I do that again, an x squared and a negative x squared, that still counts as 0. Now when I do that, I've got 1, 2, 3 x squareds, so I can take away the 3 x squareds that I need. So that's going to move those 3 x squareds off to the side. And I'm just left with these 2 negative x squareds. Let's try the same thing with my x's. I have a negative x, and I'm trying to take away a positive x. Well, I don't have a positive x to take, so I need to put up a positive and a negative. I need to put up a 0, because x minus x is 0. So I haven't changed anything by putting 0 on there, but now that I've done that, I can take away this x that I need. Here I've got 3 negative ones, but I need to take away 5 negative ones. So to do that, I need 2 more negative ones. So I'm going to have 2 groups of 0 that I'm going to put up here. Now when I have these 2 groups of 0, I've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives that I need. So I'm going to pull all of those off to the side to take away the 5 negatives. And I'm left with these 2 positives. So that's going to turn into, let's see, 1, 2, I've got negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 2. Lots of 2's in that answer. Negative 2x squared minus 2x plus 2. Let's try one more together before I give you one to try on your own. So I'm going to start out again by building my original polynomial. So I've got 2x squareds plus 4x's minus 3. Then I need to take away 3x squareds. Well, I only have 2. I need to put another x squared down, but to do that, I've got to make it 0. So I'm going to put a negative x squared with a positive x squared. Doing that, I can take away 1, 2, 3x squareds now. So we'll just delete those. I've got 4 x's, and I need to take away, with that subtraction sign there, I need to take away 2 negative x's. Again, I can't take away 2 negatives unless I put some zeros on here. So when I put up 2 zero pairs, or 2 things that add to 0x, I now have 2 negative x's that I can take away. So take away that one, and I'm left with all of these x's. I've got 3 negatives. This one I don't have to change anything on because I've got 1 negative that I'm taking away. So my polynomial then becomes negative x squared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so plus 6x minus 2. Try this one on your own. Pause your video at this point, either draw a picture, use your algebra tiles, or use your thought process to help you work this one out. A hint here, you won't need to make 0 pairs for each of these. You're only going to need to make 0 pairs for 2 of them. One of them you'll be able to subtract without it. So pause your video now and try this one on your own. Did you get 2x to the 4th plus 4x minus 4? If you did, give yourself a star. If you didn't, give yourself an X. Go back and watch the last 2 examples and see if you can figure out your mistake. For this one, you don't need to make any 0 pairs with your x squareds. You'll need to make 2 0 pairs with your x's, and you're going to need to make 3 0 pairs with your numbers by themselves. So that may be helpful for you as well. So when I say 0 pairs, I mean take 2 things that are opposites that add together to be 0. So x and negative x, that's a 0 pair. So you're going to need 2 of those x, negative x situations for that middle term when you subtract that. You have 4 homework problems. Again, you may use algebra tiles, you may use pictures, or you can just use your brain power to help you out on these. Make sure you are ready to talk about this on Monday. Have a great weekend.